What's up YouTube? It's Donovan the Smartphone Guy coming back at you with another video, and tonight I'm excited to bring you the budget phone of 2016, and it is the R1 HD from the company Blu. Now this is the third Blu phone that I've ever owned. I had the Life 1X, and I've also had the Blu Vivo XL. So this is the third phone I've had, and this is the R1 HD. You can pick this up if you're an Amazon Prime customer for $50 or $60 depending on which variant you get, or if you're not a Prime customer, it's $100 or $110 depending on the version you get. Now, I personally picked up the 2 gigs of RAM version, so this is the $60 version. The $60 version comes with these Amazon Prime ads on the lock screen, so you can see here that I got the short drop. That's a book, and I'll turn it back off, turn it back on, and I'm going to get another ad down here for the butterfly garden. So it just comes with those ads. That's really the only thing that's different between the $60 version and the $110 version that has 2 gigs of RAM with 16 gigs of onboard storage. So I'll go ahead and let you guys look at that screen. So, all right. So that's what it looks like here. So it does have a 5-inch HD curved display. Now that's a 720 pixel screen, which is really close to 300 ppi. And I'm going to tell you right now that it is an IPS display, but it looks very, very nice. Now I have my plenty of phones that have like a 1080p screen. This is my Moto G4 Plus. I have a Nexus 6P here that has the 2K display. So, and I will say that this is definitely competitive with these phones in terms of display. It doesn't look bad at all. So it's not budget in terms of the display, in my opinion. That 720p screen looks very nice. So we'll get back to that in a little bit. So it does have a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor. That is a MediaTek processor. 2 gigs of RAM, like I already said. 8 megapixel camera on the back, and there is just kind of a little bit. It does protrude just a little bit there. Not much, but a little bit. So that's what the back of the phone looks like. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. It does have micro SD expansion under this plastic protection here. There is a 5 megapixel front-facing camera right here with an LED flash, and it does support 4G LTE on T-Mobile, AT&T, and any of the companies that ride on those 2 carriers as well. And then it is running Android 6.0 right out of the box. So we'll get rid of the box here for a second. Well, first I suppose we should say what comes in it. So that's just a little sticker that has the IMEI information, and then also we get just the charging cord and some quick guides. So the charging cord and port that comes with it, it is micro USB. It is not Type-C. And then this is a 1 amp charger, so not a fast charger by any means. And let me be the first to tell you that this phone does not charge particularly fast as well. So if you had the Blu Life 1X, you might know what I'm talking about. Kind of a slow charging phone, especially if you're used to the newer fast charging phones. So let's go ahead and take a look around the phone real quick. So hopefully you'll be able to see all this. So on this side we have just our power button and our volume rocker. They do protrude just a little bit from the side, but not a ton, but you can definitely feel them. There's no issue with feeling those. So this is a metal band that goes around, by the way. And we have our headphone jack up here, 3.5 millimeter. We have a couple of antenna bands down here, micro USB, and a microphone there. And then on the front we do also have, where's it at? Our LED notification light, speaker here, the front-facing camera, and the LED flash. This is again 720p screen, and on the back we just have our single monotone rear-facing speaker, LED flash on the back, and the 8 megapixel camera. Let's go ahead and pop off this cover. If we can find the little slot, where's that at? There it is. Alright, so pop that off, and we can see what's underneath the hood. So this has a 2500 milliamp hour battery, and here we have our micro SIM slot, and then we have another SIM slot there. So that is micro, not nano. So if you have a nano SIM, you'll need an adapter for that. And then we also have our SD expansion there as well. So that is the back of the phone. And let's talk about my first impression. So the build, obviously, this is a budget phone. Like I said, I got it for 60 bucks, which, you know, for 60 bucks, I mean, what you get, you have a phone that you can take pictures with, that you can browse all the internet with, that, I mean, you can pretty much do anything with this thing. It doesn't have NFC, so I guess that's missing. If that's something that you're worried about, but you can get that with, you know, a little bit more expensive phones like the Moto G4 or the G4 Plus. So no NFC, but that's just kind of a small thing. But geez, oh Pete's, for 60 bucks, you're getting quite a phone in my opinion. So anyways, build quality is okay. This back plastic is a little bit slick, I would say. So this one has also plastic back. This is the G4 Plus, but it has a nice texture to it, whereas this phone doesn't have really any texture. It's just a matte back, and definitely would slip out of your hands pretty easy in my opinion. And these are also a little slick on the sides as well. So if you're going to pick this up, it might not be a bad idea to get a case with it, just for a little added protection, of course, and then also so it's not quite so slippery. In terms of performance, I just want to show you guys real quick. I mean, I think that just showing you is probably the easiest way to describe. Whoops, I hit the wrong. Probably should take that lock screen off if I'm going to do a video, but let's go ahead and take a look at the performance. So here is Google Now, and you can see it flies through that, no problem. I'll show you a game that I had running. So this is the 2 gigs of RAM version. So I have tons of apps running in the background, flips right through those with no problem. Have Madden Mobile running, and let's go ahead and just play this for a second, just so you guys can see the ability of this phone to play games. I mean, you can really play games with this. So let's do a short pass. I like this play. All right, so here we go. And you can see, like, gaming really isn't bad on this thing. You know, Madden Mobile isn't the most graphic intensive game, but it's also not a light game either. And it runs through this really with no issue, I would say. Really no stutters or anything like that. So I would say that the gaming is not bad for this phone. I've played Madden Mobile, I've played some NBA Jam on it, and both of them seem to be doing pretty well. We've already talked about the display. Display looks great. It gets pretty bright too, so I'll show you how bright it gets. That was at 50%, so it doesn't get all that dim, but definitely gets pretty bright. And so you shouldn't have any issue with seeing this in the dark. Now, there are no gestures or anything with this. It is pretty much running stock Android right out of the box. It's pretty darn close to stock with the exception of these Amazon apps that you see up front. But in terms of the actual app drawer, you can see that that looks pretty much stock. And the settings also are stock, and you're not going to get really any, there's no gestures or anything on here. You can't like double tap or anything like that. So that's, you know, good, bad, whatever. Battery life, I can't really speak on that quite yet. This is my first day, first impressions. But so far, battery life doesn't seem bad. I can't say that it's good yet. But we'll take a look at that more in future videos. But then in terms of the camera, so that's another thing that I think obviously people are wondering about. It's an 8 megapixel camera, so I'll just kind of run through a few of the pictures that I took. Oh, there's me. We'll go ahead and take a selfie here. Hi there, guys. All right, so in terms of the selfie, hey, look, there's my nose. All right, so this is the selfie cam here, and there's a picture of my daughter. The selfie cam isn't too bad. Obviously, you know, this is just, you're looking through another phone, but selfie cam doesn't look too bad. That's a 5 megapixel camera. This is a low light shot. I was playing a card game with my daughter earlier. Some low light shots there. These are some little brighter lighting shots in bright light. So this is a shot that was done with brighter lighting, and it looks great. The 8 megapixel camera in bright lighting does phenomenal. It's great, really. Nothing to complain about there. But as soon as you get to any low light shot, it definitely starts getting kind of blurry. So if I zoom way in on this picture, you can see that it gets pretty pixelated. So that's where it's going to suffer for sure, is in lower lighting. And this isn't even that low of lighting, and it got pretty pixelated. So in bright light, you're going to do just fine, but the lower the lighting, obviously, the less quality you get out of the camera. So that's just a quick look and first impressions of some of the things about the phone. Is this phone worth 60 bucks? 100% yes. There is no doubt that for 60 bucks you're getting a darn good phone. Is it worth 150, 200? Probably not. There's definitely some things that are missing with this. It's certainly not a flagship phone. It's not even a mid-range phone, but man, for 60 bucks you're getting a darn good package. So I say for 60, buy this thing. I'd go ahead and jump to the $60 one. Don't buy the $50 one, in my opinion. 1 gig of RAM and only 8 gigs of onboard storage. The OS on here, Android 6.0 Marshmallow, takes up 4 gigs of that. So really you're only getting 4 gigs of storage if you buy the 8 gig version. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you. I know it's a little bit longer than I was expecting, but just wanted to give you guys my impressions of the Blu R1 HD. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, give me the thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.